James Comey thinks he's so holy that when he walks into a confession booth, he expects the priest to confess to him.
The IG on page 52 says Comey's characterization of the memos as personal records finds no support in the law and is wholly incompatible with the plain language of the statutes, regulations, and policies defining federal records and the terms of Comey's FBI employment agreement. So he's not just a leaker and a liar. He's incompetent or perhaps willfully ignorant. Neither of those is good either. Still, after all this, Comey had the gall this morning to tweet, DOJ IG found no evidence that Comey or his attorneys released any of the classified information contained in any of the memos to members of the media. I don't need a public apology from those who defame me, but a quick message with a, sorry, we lied about you, would be nice. Sorry, Jimmy, don't hold your breath. The IG report established, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Comey engaged in a grand personal vendetta against this president, and in doing so, he abused his authority. And while Comey must be breathing easier tonight, given the AG's decision not to prosecute him for this leaking, he's not out of the woods yet. The IG report on the FBI Russian probe and the use of those FISA warrants is forthcoming. And it was Comey who signed the first FISA warrant to spy on American citizens. Now, based on the dossier, he knew or should have known was not credible. That was filed with the FISA court. Big no-no.
You're absolutely right, Laura. That is a big no-no. So how is James Comey going to escape being prosecuted and convicted of filing of false FISA warrants based on fraudulent evidence, the Steele dossier, which everybody now knows, and even back then when he filed his FISA warrants was garbage. Everybody knew it was garbage. Well, I think we can get a clue as to his future legal defense by looking at the title of his book, A Higher Loyalty, which tells us that Comey thinks he's on a higher moral plane than us mere mortals, and that any act that he does is somehow justified. We got a hint of this in his reaction to being a leaker. Now, as we know now, the Inspector General did find that for sure that Comey violated Department of Justice policies and rules by leaking documents to the New York Times, his memos, leaking the memos to the New York Times. But when Comey was asked about it, his attitude was, leaking? Me? Leaking? No. I showed the memos to a friend and mentioned that he should maybe release them to the New York Times. That's not leaking. Whatever I do can't be wrong because I have a higher loyalty. I'm holier than thou. So that's it. He's going to use the holier than thou defense in court. Now, so far, it's just been unofficial. He always has been considering himself holier than thou, but he's going to make it official. He's going to actually ask God to officially declare him holier than thou. So that's look for that as the defense for Comey. Now, see, in his mind, in his holier than thou mind, he looks upon Donald Trump as like another Hitler or Mussolini. So anything that he does is justified. It's justified. I have to do it. I have a higher loyalty. I'm holier than thou. So look for that to be that defense coming up when he has to defend signing off on those fraudulent FISAs. Did I say visa? FISAs, the FISA warrants. Well, just how holier than thou does James Comey consider himself to be? James Comey thinks he's so holy that he demands that the baby in all nativity scenes be 6'9" tall. James Comey thinks he's so holy that his biggest moral dilemma is whether to ask the Pope to kiss the ring on his right hand or on his left hand. James Comey thinks he's so holy that he also had all 10 toes circumcised. James Comey thinks he's so holy that he upstaged anyone attempting to walk on water by moonwalking on water. James Comey thinks he's so holy that when he met the Dalai Lama, he said to him, "I forgive you, my son." James Comey thinks he's so holy that he can make a pork chop kosher just by touching it. James Comey is so holy that he thinks his nickname is Yahweh. James Comey thinks he's so holy that when he goes to St. Pete's Gate, he plans to direct traffic. James Comey thinks he's so holy that when he watches the 10 Commandments on TV, he thinks he hears his own voice coming from the burning bush. And finally, James Comey thinks he's so holy that he can outdo the feeding of the 5,000 by causing the viewing by the 5 million of this video. I hope. See you later.